Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is part 2 of the 53 Chevy 210 revival. We get her running, kinda, and drive her the 200 miles home. Pretty good little video. And also, make sure you guys are subscribing. There's only a fraction of you that's watching that's actually subscribed. And make sure you do subscribe so you can check out the build of this 65 Chevy, where we start out with a semi and we're building her into a burnout truck. We will be running down at IRP in Indianapolis for a Cletus McFarland show in just a few short weeks. I think it's 4 weeks at this point. So we got a lot to do. So stay tuned for those videos. But first, go watch part 1 of the revival if you haven't yet. Come back, watch part 2, subscribe, and that way you can catch the content that's coming up on this pretty quick. Well, judging by the smell coming out of the gas tank, it's full of some pretty rotten gas. We'll see what we can see. What is that? What in the world is that? I don't know what in the world that is. Jack it up, Austin. Don't wait on us. I don't know what in the world that is.
Is it the end of the neck?
It almost looks like trash.
Like plastic? Or a bug?
What in the world? That literally looks like a bag or something. It is.
Huh.
No idea what that is. Let me see if I can push past it.
Let's see, how far down are you? Well,
You know what that looks like? Looks like a snake skin. Well, I don't know. I don't have any idea what in the world is in that. But that looks like mud. And
wet.
what on earth? Don't know what that is, but it literally looks like a piece of snake skin or plastic. I don't have a clue what that is. That makes me hesitant on even trying to run this tank. I'm kind of running out of time, running out of daylight. And when I say kind of, it's 3:39. It's 3:39, and I think the sun sets at 5. And we're a couple hours plus from home. So I gotta make some decisions. We did bring a 5-gallon boat tank. I don't know how far 5 gallons will get us in this, but that idea is looking kind of appealing, and not even jack with this tank. Because if that's a piece of plastic or something in there, we're going to fight that the entire time. Plus, that look like mud down in there in the bottom. So I think we'll probably just go with the boat tank and run some rubber line and call it good. So I'm going to let him get done setting that down. He's going to let the rear end droop down so we can put grease in it, oil, whatever you want to call it. And that looks really sketchy. Jack that back up. He's getting it to where the rear end will lower down so we can put some oil in it. I think I'm going to look at options for running a rubber line to the trunk and putting that 5-gallon gas tank in the trunk and being done with it. So I think we're getting close to being able to see if she's going to run, I think. So we need a fuel system. We kind of got brakes. The steering looked okay.
The oil was changed.
Oil's changed. Training's full. He's getting ready to fill the rear end up. Yeah, we're getting close. New temporary fuel line is ran up from the boat tank to the factory fuel line. I like the 1970s chrome filter. That's pretty cool. But anywho, new fuel line ran up to the old fuel line. I'm hoping and praying that the fuel pump is good, and we're going to crank it here in just a second and make sure we get fuel up here after I put on the new fuel filter and a couple new pieces of line that aren't as hard as the metal line, a couple pieces of rubber line, and then so we need all that. Yeah, I'm trying to move fast and I'm forgetting what I'm saying. We're about out of daylight, and as it is right now, if we left right now, we're driving home in the dark. I don't even know if we have headlights. We do know that we have some form of rear light, whether it's a tail light or brake light, we ain't determined yet, because they come on when they want and they don't go off. So basically, if the battery's on, we have lights at the back. So I don't know if that's necessarily a bad thing. It's better than not having nothing. So this fuel line is supposed to be 3/8, but I'm gonna say it's bigger than that, because this is like the fourth fitting that I put it on that it's supposed to fit tight on, that, you know, it should fit tight on, and it's loose as can be. So that might be a problem for us in the future. So far everything seemed to tighten up like it should, but not crazy about that not having a barbed end on it, but there's nothing I can do about it at this moment. There's nothing there to keep this from sliding back off, especially with that fuel line being bigger than it should be. Not crazy about that, but the good thing is it will only fall on the exhaust manifold, so it's fine. Alright, so close to firing this thing. Alright, buddy. Go ahead and go in there and crank on it a little bit, and we'll see if we get any fuel up here.
Ready?
Yep. Alright. That's what I was worried about, with that line not being the right size.
Lincoln.
Yep.
Sprayed out.
The good news is
We got fuel?
that fuel pump seems to be more than happy. So
You had said that you wanted to use the other style of zip tie, hose clamp, because of how it tightens. Would that make a difference?
what she's talking about is the other style of hose clamp. The problem that I ran into, I used them down below on the other line. Austin said they didn't quite fit over this properly, which seems to be a theme. Definitely not the right way to run the brake line. Definitely not the right way to run the fuel line, but that's how we're doing it today, boys. Because it just ain't wanting to tighten up. This rubber fuel line we bought at a farm store, and it's supposed to be 3/8 fuel line, and I think it actually measures closer to 7/16 ID. It's way bigger than 3/8, and I'm thinking it might need to just go in the trash before it causes a problem. We're going to gamble that this carburetor's going to be happy enough to get us home. That hose clamp ain't worth a diddly.
You can spin it?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hopefully this one's doing enough. She just lost 10 horsepower.
something off of a
Well,
lawnmower.
what is even holding that on? Hopes and dreams hold that on? The top screws to the bottom.
The bottom was just like wedged on there. He's gonna have to take it apart.
Go ahead and crank it, buddy. Alright.
There's something trashy in there.
Yeah, that's why it's got a filter. So if it's not gonna fire off of that, actually, well, go ahead and crank it again. Hold that throttle open. Or let me run it, I guess. Crank it. I don't think we got alright. I don't think we got any fire.
Nope.
It's actually got a fairly new set of points in it. Actually, go crank it over. And come over here, Shreddy. We're watching right here for spark.
Ready?
Yep. Alright. Yeah. So, I don't know how that ran before, but them points are set so tight. I don't know that they would ever, sparked or whatever. We'll try cleaning them to start with and see what that does. That cap looks new. I'm guessing all this stuff was new when they parked it. The distributor looks really clean. Looks like a new set of points. We'll clean all this stuff up real quick and try it again. Alright, go turn the key back on.
Oh. Crank it or no?
Just turn the key on.
On.
Well, we got juice there because I just points. There it went. Did you see it?
I heard it. There it goes. There it goes.
Alright. I wonder if we ought to go ahead and pull a spark plug just to make sure they're not all rusted out. Couldn't find any tune-up for this thing other than I had some new old stock AC Delco spark plugs on my shelf. So if it doesn't fire, that's going to be the next step, is set of spark plugs. Or we're pulling them out and looking at them anyhow. Go ahead and crank it, buddy. There we go. Again. Ain't getting no fuel now. it's idling. Well, you can see a little bit of a haze over there, but nothing real bad. Let's find a...
Turn on the headlights.
I wonder what.
Oh, yeah.
Got one.
This one? Do I have a bright switch on the floor?
Probably. Got me out for a second. Hit it again. Hit it again. There it is. Woo!
Nice.
Fancy. But,
That shouldn't be loud.
nope. Try outside.
I did. Well, these weren't on earlier, though. At all.
Right,
It was
right.
just that.
Your brake lights are stuck on.
Let me see up here. Clear.
That spinning thinking like I thought it would. Pretty sure it's coming out of there. Hot rust and mouse gas. That's hot mouse pit. You get a voltmeter. Turn them headlights off. Let's see what we get. 8.1. Woo! Spicy. I'd say it's not charging. Yep, daggone it. We don't have a charging electrical system. That's amazing. Alright. Daggone it. Well, that tells me I'm not going to try to drive it home in the dark. That 8-volt battery might last during the day to drive it home with no electrical on. It is definitely not going to last driving it home at night with the headlights on. So I got to make up my mind what to do there. So I think what we're going to have to do, we're just going to have to settle for taking it on a quick test drive. We're going to evaluate where we're at, see where the brakes are actually at. It doesn't appear we have rear brakes. There is some pedal, so maybe we have front brakes. I don't know. So we're going to pick up our tools real quick. We probably have got, I'm looking at the sunset here, we've got maybe an hour of daylight. We don't have a charging system. I'm not going to try to drive it home at night with no charging system. That just is asking for a headache and becomes a safety issue at that point. So what we're going to do right now, take it a test drive, and we're going to come back and hit it the next day, you know. We're going to clean her up, try to get it to where we can see out of it a little bit and not get ourselves killed. And I really want to take it down the road, even if it's just down to the corner and back. So that's our goal right now. Alrighty, let's see if we can make this thing go down the road. First time I've drove a 3-speed on the column in over 20 years. I believe that was fourth and not first. And we're going. Let's see. I can't see jack diddly out of this windshield. It's absolutely horrible. Doesn't actually sound that bad for duals on a 6-cylinder, honestly. And she's got some highway gears. Good Lord. stop sign. And the brake's stuck on. I hit the brakes kind of hard because the stop sign stuck up on me. I didn't think it was a stop sign. One front brake locked up and stayed locked up until we went over the hump of the road. Luckily, nobody was coming. But we do have brakes. One anyway. Oh, man. That's too funny. I'll tell you what, though. It's not bad. The 3-speed on the column thing's not my thing. Is that missing gear? But I can dig it. We got to get rid of this steering wheel. We got to get rid of this goofy seat. This seat's got us way too far forward, way too low, and the steering wheel's in our face. The steering wheel should be flat, not a deep dish steering wheel like this. So we're gonna turn around and go back because our brake lights are stuck on and it's getting kind of dark. Actually, I think there's another road right up here maybe.
There is.
I can't see diddly because the windshield's round. Yeah, we'll get turned around right here. We got brakes, so man, if we had a charging system, I'd be heading home in it. But I can't see nothing out of this thing. But I'm not. It's going to be dark here in like 30 minutes, so I'm not trying to run an 8-volt system with no battery because the headlights are already like candles, so I don't want to push my luck with that. Speedo even works. That's pretty amazing.
Cool. Don't forget about the stop sign.
Yeah, we'll remember that there's a stop sign this time. So it's kind of interesting hitting the brakes and not having them let go after I let go of the pedal there.
I only have one wheel locked up.
Yeah,
That was this wheel.
passenger front wheel locked up and stayed locked up. Give me the thing here. Here's our black mark. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that passenger front brake, she's an overachiever. I know Alicia's back here somewhere.
It's right here.
I don't normally pick up strange women off the road, but would you like a ride? I forgot that was a stop sign.
Is that what that?
I hit the brakes, that brake locked up, and then didn't let go until we bounced over the road and then it let go.
Whoops.
Yeah,
I thought maybe it was because there's railroad tracks down there, isn't there?
way at the end.
Oh,
but
I wasn't sure.
it seems to run good. Speedometer works.
Maybe we just test the distributor, see if it's charging yet.
Distributor doesn't charge, but we can test the generator if you want. We can test the generator.
The generator.
That's what sucks.
It's been a long day.
If that generator worked, we'd drive it home. There's enough heat coming through that firewall. It's really awkward because you're sitting on the floor with the steering wheel above your head.
Yeah.
But
it seems like it does good.
it does. that passenger side front brake's a big overachiever.
Is it?
Yeah, the other ones maybe it's just that they're underachievers, but whatever.
It's probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, do I still have a GoPro on the roof?
Yes.
That's a good sign when you still have your GoPros. So, all right, we can pull it back in there again and jump out and let her in. I can't do 3 people on this. You can ride in the back.
How am I going to get back there?
Jump, I guess.
You can't just scoot over?
I can't. No.
No. Just flop.
We got them bolts for the seat too that we never put in.
Yeah. Oh gosh. No cushion back at all.
Yeah, there is. There's all kinds of turds back there.
How's it back there?
Other than my butt going down to the floor.
Turdy.
It stinks in here.
Yes, it does. I don't know.
What are you trying to see?
I am trying to see the temperature gauge. I don't know which one of those is the temperature.
I know the bottom right is oil.
But it's maxed out if that's oil. I was trying to look at the temperature gauge because there's a lot of heat coming through the firewall. But
I really like the original Motorola
yeah,
radio.
let's see if we can find a driveway to turn around.
Your side's cleaner than mine.
That's because I cleaned my side.
No, I said I hope it is.
Oh, I think there used to be a driveway right here.
Probably.
Good, you got no one coming.
So far, the only thing I don't like about it is the seat and the steering wheel.
Which
They-
don't belong to it.
Yeah, they gotta go. I'm pretty happy that the pretty happy that the 3-speed linkage is not all wear out. Most of the time you hear these 3 speeds and it just jams and binds and it's horrible to drive, but this one seems pretty solid. It is now day 2 for the 53 Chevy revival. We had to give up on the first day. It got dark on us and we couldn't get the generator to work. Me and my forgetfulness, I didn't even think about us having to polarize the charging system on that. So called in a couple friends. They're like, hey, you got to polarize that. And I said, oh yeah. Started Googling it. Nobody could tell me exactly what terminals we need to run a hot wire to do that. So we're going to make an educated guess and hope we hit the right one. We're going to get it pulled back out. And we got to do a few things before we hit the road. The first one, get the charging system to work. We did not try to drive this home the last time because it got dark on us and I wasn't trying to drive home with a 6-volt system that doesn't work, charging system that doesn't work. And the second thing is the brake lights are stuck on as soon as you hook the battery up. My assumption is the pressure switch for them lights is stuck. So we're gonna crawl underneath there, give that some love taps, and hopefully that comes back around. If not, I'm gonna go to a hardware store or something and buy one of them little, like a doorbell switch that one, and literally tape that dude to the brake pedal so that when I hit the brakes, the brake lights come on. So we're gonna get this thing dug back out, tear into those few things, and hopefully hit the road here shortly. Crawl underneath there. There's a sending unit on there, and I'll have 2 wires that come in it. The way that does is when the pressure builds up in there, it makes a connection, and that makes the power go to the brake lights. Don't ground it out, then post, but tap on that with a wrench or something. I think that connection's just stuck in there. Hopefully it'll pop loose and the brake lights will go off. Tap on it with that wrench. I guess we should try the simple thing first. Pull up on that brake pedal and make sure they don't go off.
Mm-hmm. Put your legs down, Austin.
I can't get up to it.
Watch the brake lights.
Yep.
They went off?
Yep.
Okay. Did they go back on when I let off?
Yep.
So we need to that's probably what that return spring was that was in there. So we just need to put a spring on that pedal.
Okay.
Watch it again.
Yep.
Okay.
And they came back on.
Well, that's a lot better than jacking with that sensor. My assumption was that that has an inline, I haven't even actually looked at it. My assumption was it has a pressure sensor on there to make the lights come on, but it's just got a saggy pedal. And I seen a spring in here that I assumed was for that. So we're gonna try to find that and get that spring on that pedal. It goes underneath the car. For those of you that don't know, the master cylinder is under the driver's side floorboard. So we'll see if we can get that spring on there. And then we need to get the charging system fixed. Check the brake fluid again. I think that's about it. Oh, we need to put bolts in the seat. Apparently whoever put the seat in thought that 2 bolts was sufficient. I'm not okay with that. So let's find a spring.
I thought when we were about done last time, you had said you were confident in driving it, attempting to drive it home at that point. Just
we gotta get charging system.
The charging system, it got dark on us. Yeah. That was the only reason. So I think we got everything else figured out.
Yep.
At least to get it home.
Hopefully that's
These springs.
no, it's a long spring. I don't know if that's. I don't think that's it, but it's going to be it.
I think there was another one.
I do too.
Only springs I remember seeing is that one and the hood spring.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the hood spring.
Well, that's gigantic. So.
Oh no, that's not it. There was another one that size.
All right. We'll have to get this jacked up because I'll have to be the one to do this probably.
Yeah, because I got stuck.
To do some cobble engineering. All right. So yeah, we need to get underneath it. Let's get the jack under it. Jack it up. And while Austin works on that, I will attempt to polarize that. I don't really know what I'm doing, but of what I've gathered online is you need to connect these two together. You need to connect those 2 terminals. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's what we're going to try and see if it works. I don't know. Worst case we can do is fry a voltage regulator and it doesn't work as it is. So we did bring 2 batteries this time. We brought 2 8-volt batteries. So hopefully we can get home. Hopefully we can get this charging. But if not, the backup plan is to drive as far as we can on one and then switch to the other. I don't know. I guess I could. There's farm stores on the way home. I guess I can stop at every farm store and trade in the battery or buy a new 8-volt battery. We couldn't find any wire, but we got jumper cable, so we're going to try using them as a jumper wire to jump at. I could probably just about do it with a freaking wrench, but see what we get. And I don't know if I'm supposed to do this with it running or not, but we're going to try it with it running. This part, they say that's all it's supposed to need. See if we got juice anywhere. Last time we had no juice whatsoever at the generator. 7.97. I don't remember what we had before. Rev that up a little bit over there and see what we get.
I want to say it was around like 8.1.
And 7.97. still, it's literally less with it running. It's 8.12. It's 8.12 with it without anything on it. That's neat. And when it's running, it drops down to 7.9. So, well, I'm gonna cheat and make it a little bit easier myself. I hooked both ends of the cable, or the positive and the negative together down there. And we don't have to have both ends in here. Go ahead and fire it up, buddy. And we'll try polarizing this again. See what we get. We got our arc. I don't know what to make or what to think of it. So if it's charging, I would think that if it's charging, I'd be able to unhook that battery cable and it would generate enough juice to keep it running. That is definitely not what is happening. So I don't know what to think on that. I think what we're gonna do is just try it. I don't think it's charging. Just running the ignition system, it shouldn't drain that battery that fast. We're gonna get that spring put on that brake pedal and run it. We'll see what we can get. We're only running a 5-gallon gas tank, so we're not gonna make it very far anyway, I don't imagine. Maybe we will. I have no idea what to expect out of mileage on this. But yeah, we'll see what we can get out of a 8-volt battery for miles. It might end up being a long day. Well, we did all that we can do here anyway, and got all the tools loaded up, and we're going to see if we can make the 200-mile voyage home. See if this thing will fire up, and let's go hit some back roads. Well, didn't have to drive very far at all before we found a car wash, and she's kind of sketchy. I fully anticipate on losing all of my quarters here. That's gonna be the honest way I've ever seen anybody store their wand, but we'll give her a couple dollars and see what we can do with this thing. Let's see if we don't donate a $1.50 here real quick. I can't fit my fat hand in there with that card in there. Question is, how much of this do you think's on the inside now? A lot. I know I'm making that look like a stripe, I guarantee it. decreased its value by like 50%. Is this thing's got less pressure than a garden hose, so a good power wash will probably make even more of a difference. No warning, just done. This is ghetto. Look at this.
Just put it in a hole in the ground.
Stick in the ground.
Wow.
Well,
That's unique.
looks a lot better than it did.
It's very blue.
I can't do the Smurf stuff.
No, it's even bluer than it was.
Yeah, it's very, very Smurf. That's got to change. I don't know what color to make it. You guys give me your opinion. What color should we make this car? Because I can't do the blue. Can't do it. All right. Well, let's see how wet our seats are and keep on trucking. We're burning daylight. First fuel stop. Austin jumped out and is getting us a wheel chock so that we don't have to shut this thing off. I'm gonna fill her on the fly. And as soon as he gets that chocked, I will get out, do a walk around real quick. And we smell oil, burning oil a couple of times.
All right.
And I don't know, it smelled like hot rear end grease. I don't know if our transmission's puking stuff on the exhaust or if it's a rear end or what, but we're going to take a look underneath real quick. Let's see what kind of fuel consumption we got. Oh, we're doing good. We're doing all right on fuel. I'm going to go ahead and top it off though. Let's see what we got going on under here. That exhaust is what we're smelling. I don't know if that's fresh or if that's old. Oh, no, that's fresh. We got a couple drops coming out of that training. So that's what we're smelling. And if you guys remember, that thing was bone dry when we put fluid in it. So that is definitely the oil smell that we're getting. But we're gonna get her fueled out and get back on the road. Pro tip for you, if you're driving an old crusty car, get a beverage with a lid. Do not get a fountain pop because you'll end up drinking that crust. Did the math, and at an average of probably 60 mile an hour, we're getting a whopping 10.3 miles per gallon. I imagine if I dropped that down to about 50, it would increase quite a bit, but it's still running, so I'm okay with 10 miles a gallon. things were going good until they weren't. Driving down the highway and she just shut off. No idea what's going on. Let's get this hood up. I hit the key and it's dead as could be, so it could be that with it not charging, we've killed that battery. We got a safety ratchet strap on the bottom of that hood.
I need to cut that in place.
That shouldn't have to, buddy. Austin's saying he's got to cut the zip tie on our extra strap that's on there, the tail of the strap. But anyway, I'm gonna guess we killed that battery because it was just boop, dead. Either that or the coil took a dump. Something in the ignition cut out. I dumped the clutch and it died with it in gear and kept rolling over, so it ain't like it locked up or nothing like that. I dumped the clutch to see if we get anything different out of it, and all it did was slow us down. It didn't try to fire or anything. So we'll see what once we get this hood up. It's a good thing it's not an emergency. Once we get this hood up, we'll take a look at things. See anything obvious? Hold that hood up for me. We're leaking a little bit of fuel there. That's not cool, but we're leaking some oil. That oil's all fresh down through there. I wonder if that coil didn't blow up. I wouldn't be surprised if that coil didn't explode, and that's what that oil is. That's the only place that's covered in oil. I'll grab my voltmeter and test this battery real quick. Huh?
Need a stick.
Yeah, we left our stick there, didn't we? There's one in the back window. Why don't you go grab it? Wedge it in there somehow, buddy. Fix your bottom there. You had it sitting on that ledge. That's not sketchy at all. Let's see what we got voltage-wise. Yep. 7 volts. Well, it's not a voltage issue. I bet that coil took a dump if I was to guess. But the crappy part is the starter won't turn it over. I don't know if our starter's garbage or what. Let me why don't you go hit the key real quick, Austin, and see what it does.
Is it in gear?
I'll push the clutch in.
Ready?
Yeah. Put your foot on the brake. Put your foot on the brake. Yeah. All right. I think our starter's garbage. Excellent. That's gonna make it hard to test anything. I guess I can just throw that coil on and see what happens. My assumption is we burnt that coil up somehow. There's 7 volts. It should crank, but we lost yeah, we lost ignition somehow. Not sure what went on there. Fuel filter's still full. Yeah, let me grab some gloves and I'll at least take the distributor cap off and go from there. But I'm betting that my money's on the coil being bad. I'm gonna go turn the ignition on and flip them points and see if we still got a spark there. Yep, we have no spark at the points. Yep. We don't have any spark there. Got the coil loose here. We're going to buzz the wires off of it real fast and throw in our spare. And we're going to have to try to push start this, I reckon, because we don't have a functioning starter at the moment. I see oil on this coil, but I don't see anywhere where it came apart. And this must be leaking out of that valve cover, but that coil is pretty warm. I don't know that it died because of what I'll say is natural causes. I don't know why it would have died. Can that go in there upright, please? Please. I had this in here upside down. I'm gonna try to do it this way. It's really tight on that wire, but I think it'll be all right. Man, I hope this, like I said, the sad part is we won't know if this is even our issue. I guess I can hit the points again. Where'd our coil wire go? All right. We'll take that. Take this cap back off. See if we can trip that points and see if we got any spark now. Now we got spark. Yeah. The question is, did that coil die because it was old and janky? Or did it die because it's having too much juice ran to it? And if it died because it's got too much juice going to it, we're just going to kill this new one too. And we're only, I don't even know if we're halfway yet, so could get interesting. And of course it's Sunday, so any reputable parts store is probably closed already. Alrighty. Well, you're gonna have to push start us. We're going uphill too, so might have to push start it in reverse and see what we get. Unless by some miracle that starter's cooled off enough that it'll work. I'm not that optimistic though. I'm gonna give it, I'm gonna go ahead and try this starter real quick, but I don't think it's gonna work. Nope. Nope, we're gonna have to push start it. All right, this will be fun. Let's see how strong and agile Austin is doing the old push start by himself. All right, ready, bud? Yep. Let's go. Faster! Faster! Here we go. Go forward now. We didn't have enough speed. Have him go forward now. Nope. So after Austin's about died pushing us up and down this hill while I tried to start it, I don't actually have spark at the points. If you look, if I short that out, I get spark there, but if I don't ground it out and I just pull them points open, we're not getting spark. So I think we smoked them points. Yeah, if I grind out across there with the screwdriver, it'll arc on those. So last ditch effort, we're gonna file on those points and see if we can get anything out of them, but not looking good. I don't have any spare points, so not good. And it is way past time for part stores to be open on a Sunday. That would have points anyway. All right, Austin turned the key back on. Let's see if we get any spark. Oh, Very faint, but it's there. And it's, I don't know if that's enough to make it run or not. We don't have a whole lot of choice though, so I'm gonna clean on those a little bit more. Actually, if you look at this, gotta turn that key off, buddy. If you look at this real close, that top side, that side over there, half of that side of the points is missing. I don't know if that'll focus for you guys or not. It's not wanting to focus. So, there is a few of the box store, parts stores along our route, and we're gonna start calling ahead and see if by chance anybody has a set of points. I don't even care what the points are for. I'll make them fit in some fashion. We've got about roughly 100 miles to go, I'd guess. So, yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out fast because these points ain't gonna last very long. Can you check availability at any other stores?
Do that.
Okay. Preferably ones north of you.
Sorry, nobody.
Nobody? That's what I expected.
I could have it here at 12:45 tomorrow.
That's all right. I'm broke down out on the highway.
Oh God.
Part of me wants to just see if we can. Part of me wants to see if we can just get it going and shoot for the moon, so to speak. But I know that's a bad idea because I know it's not gonna last. Let's look. See, what is the next town? All right. There is a Tractor Supply up the road, and they used to have a decent selection of tractor ignition parts. So we're going to see if we can get this running and then make it to that Tractor Supply in hopes. I'm not even going to bother calling there because whoever answers the phone is not going to know what ignition points are. So we're going to kill Austin, have him push us back down the hill, and see if we can get this thing fired up and make it back to Tractor Supply. Well, Austin didn't want to be filmed doing that, but we got her going again. We're going to go backtrack. I think it's 2 miles to Tractor Supply. It's running right now, but it ain't going to last. There's no freaking way the points are going to hold up. There's like just a sliver of the top side of them left. I think they're just falling apart. And it might be because we're burning them too hot. I don't know. But anyway, we're going to go back. Tractor Supply used to carry a pretty good selection of tractor ignition points or tractor ignition parts. We're going to see what they have and see if we can I'm not going to mess with it until they die, but I'm going to see what they got that can give us some form of hope in jerry-rigging something on there if these cut out. $35 for a set of freaking ignition points. Great googly moogly. That one's $30. We're gonna buy this and not open it unless we have to, because this bad boy's coming back to the store. Great googly moogly. $30. I was trying to be quiet in there, but after tax, $32.09 for a set of ignition points. Man, first time I bought points, they were like $4. All right, let's get some miles behind us, hopefully. We are still quite a distance away from home, and we got about 2 hours of daylight left. Let's see if we can get it home before we gotta run some headlights, because I think that's gonna be a really bad situation if we gotta start running headlights. Well, it made it. Barely, but it made it. The longer we drove, the worse it ran. I don't know if we're losing voltage or if we have a fuel issue going on. I don't know what it is. We still have plenty of fuel. Maybe that float sticking in the carburetor, get gummed up, I don't know. But it made it. And I'm pretty happy with it, really. I mean, you think it's been sitting in a barn for the bigger part of a decade. And we polished her up and drove her just shy of 200 miles, I think it is, home. So you guys let me know. What do you think we should do with it? Should we leave it stock? Just make it reliable driver? 6.0, twin turbos? I don't know. You guys tell me. We've got quite a bit of drivetrain options available to us. You guys give me your 2 cents what you think we ought to do with it. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.